Hey you, so on this video, how much gold and silver should you own? I'm going to be talking on exactly that. Now this is of course going to be just my answer to this question, by no means definitive or set in stone. But it's a question that's been asked to me randomly and just something that I thought I should have put out for my answer on this exact question. Now that's going to be me taking into account that you're stacking the both of them. So I am going to give a number in terms of ounces. You know, out there is 10% of your wealth or the likes of, but whether you have that in liquid available funds is absolutely different. If you have 10% of whatever you're worth or your net, then that's fantastic for you. But for me, I feel these numbers are perfect for, say, anybody on a minimum wage, wherever that may be. I believe here in the UK, a minimum wage can be anywhere from 13 grand. So that's down there close to just over a little over 1,100 a month. I don't know what that would be in dollars, looking at about $15,000 or the likes of. Then that's the absolute minimum wage to anybody on six figures or above who makes that a year. So this is my answers on this question. How much gold and silver should you stack, or how much gold and silver is enough? Of course, I want to hear your answers in the comments as to what you believe is enough gold and silver you should stack. Now, I'm going to be breaking this down like this, as I've already mentioned. I believe the answers I'm giving are based on that you stack the both of these. And I say that because if an individual has big ticket items that they need to worry about in life, majority of the time those are going to be either a vehicle you're leasing or paying some type of hire purchase on, or your house. We all need these things depending on how you progress in life, if you're not living out in, you know, the wilderness. And with these things in mind, remember, I'm talking on your average individual, not somebody that can buy a house outright. Depending on where you live here in the UK now, let's not mention where I am, but your average house could be anywhere from 350,000. This is in London area, or even closer to the suburbs. And you know, the further out you get, obviously the cheaper it gets. So I look at, and this is why I'm explaining this here, gold as going to be, with my number I'm about to give, the minimum you're going to need when you're looking at your average house price. Now, I'm saying these numbers in that if you were stacking them now, or whenever you're watching these videos before, they go on to multiply in terms of a price correction. So the number I'm giving on gold is going to be 10 ounces. Now, why do I say 10 ounces? Because I feel 10 ounces, once multiplied, will be more than enough that your average individual will get that way able to be put down on some type of a down payment on a house. So your average mortgage, depending on if we see a price correction in metals, we could see a price tank in property. But I feel like if you're able to, and as I mentioned, I feel it's most definitely achievable for the average individual, even on the minimum wage. Now, of course, it's going to take longer. Let's not kid ourselves if you're on the minimum wage. But if you're picking up a quarter ounce, or I would say a quarter lowest, you're going to want to pick up, obviously for premium reasons, you want to be aiming. My number is going to be 10 ounces of gold if you're stacking from now or you're there or not. And this is the absolute minimum that you're going to want, 10 ounces of gold on the minimum. Now, obviously, the opposite side of that is the maximum, or the most you can get. And I would say the number to that is the sky's the limit. If you're in a position where, you know, 10 ounces is not going to take you, you can achieve 10 ounces, I'd say, in under 18 months, and you want to go on for the maximum, my number would be sky's the limit. Once you reach that 10 ounce gold minimum, I feel you've got enough should we see a price correction in gold. And we definitely will see one. I mean, since I've been around, I've seen gold, the lowest I've seen gold at one point was in pound sterling, down near 170 pound. So, and I know there's going to be individuals that have seen gold a lot cheaper. I only wish I was stacking it then. We're looking at currently about £1,000, I would say. I don't know what that is in dollars, $1,300 or the likes of. So once we see a price correction, I believe we'll be seeing gold anywhere, pound sterling here, go up 5 times. You could be looking at £5,000 an ounce, £8,000 an ounce. And this is the point that I'm referring to when I say 10 ounces, because then, you know, your 10 ounces could damn near be, if you have 10 currently, this would be about £10,000 sterling. Of course, we're talking about your normal standard Britannia gold ounce, which I don't have here. your Canadian maple, of course, your American silver or American gold eagle. 10 straight ounces once we see a price correction is going to be enough, where once we see a multiplier, you could have anywhere from £100,000 above. Now, as I was saying, that should be able to take care of one of the main principles in life. If you've got those types of goals and you want to not stay at your parents' house and go on and buy a house, that's a healthy down payment or a deposit to help you acquire that. Anything bigger, and then you're looking at maybe not even having a mortgage. Now, of course, in the UK, I know where you could purchase a house easily for 100k, a very nice house, 3 to 4 bedroom. You're moving further and further away from London, but if that's not your priority and that's not something that you'd need to worry about, 10 ounces will cover that. And as I mentioned, the sky's the limit on maximum. If you can achieve the baseline of 10, anything above that, and I believe you're good. So these are my numbers on gold, how much gold is enough. Now, getting to silver, I would say, looking at a lot of the payments you're going to have over life, it could easily be your kids and your own maintenance and health. Now, on this, unlike something like a mortgage payment, you can stretch the years, but obviously you're in debt for a lot longer. This could be tweaked via health and lifestyle. So I would say I look at silver like that. So your general upkeep, whether you want luxuries in life or, just maintenance and care for your kids, which mine isn't very high, I would say the minimum in terms of silver that I would give for an individual is going to be 1,000 ounces. And that's the bare minimum. Once again, looking at once we see a price correction, picking up, and I'm going by a monster box here, you could have picked up a monster box down there for 6,000 at one point. Looking at what they're going for now, if you're looking at your bog standard Britannias, you would be looking at about anywhere from 8,000 upwards. That's 500 ounces I'm referring to there. So if we're to say 1,000 ounces is the bare minimum, once again, an individual on your basic minimum wage is very achievable. We're talking time here. So it's not like in 18 months, give or take 24 months, could you stack 1,000 ounces of silver? I think somebody on your basic minimum wage, if we're talking about one of the developed countries, the UK in the West or America and the likes of, it's achievable to get 1,000 ounces, especially with current prices. If you're looking at generic even, it could be a lot easier. So I would say 1,000 ounces, because then if we see a multiplier in silver, give or take, I'd say you're looking at about £12,000. Let's just say £13,000 sterling right now, give or take $16,000. Silver is said to multiply a lot better than gold, so you could see anywhere from that going 5 to 8 times up. So having 1,000 ounces is the bare minimum. Once again, there's a number that I would put on how much silver is enough for your average individual. Now, with that in mind, once again, looking at your maximum, I would say the sky's the limit. Now, the most important thing here is the crucial thing is that they both complement one another, and this is why I'm referring to them as the both of them. So if you're going to stack gold and silver, those numbers are for the both of them, because they will complement one another. You have the big ticket items in life, which will be the gold, and then the maintenance in life. Now, we don't know what prices are going to do 5 times, 10 times, 25 times. If it doesn't on the both of them, this is why the minimum is fantastic, and anything better on a price correction is uber fantastic. But when it comes to silver, and I would say a maximum, once again, the sky's the limit. And this is just on the both of these. The sky's the limit, the sky's the limit. If you can achieve 1,000 ounces, and it's achievable, everybody's different with the restraints and the discipline that they have in life. But, with silver, it's most definitely achievable because of how cheap it is. So an individual could pick up, depending on whether to sell some of the junk that doesn't mean anything. Of course, I'm referring to precious metals here, but everyone's different. So it is achievable. You're just adding more time if it's going to be a little harder for yourself and you have more commitments in life. Now, if you was going to say, you don't pick up gold because you feel silver's the only one, or you don't pick up silver, because you feel gold's the only one. If I was going to give a number on one of them, they would change a little, because I'm giving this as a combo, a pair. So this is like the perfect pest of nest right here, not including rhodium, platinum, palladium, and the likes of, just the two main stars of the show, and that's going to be gold and silver. If we're looking at just one, so for instance, you just stack gold, you couldn't care less for silver, I would say this, with 10 is still a fantastic bare minimum, I believe. But you know, if you want to get a little fruity and you're obviously going for 2 years and you want to achieve some type of a massive goal, I would say 15 to 20 ounces and you're good as gold, literally. And that is just if you was just stacking gold. So that's my number on if you was just stacking gold, how much gold is enough. I would say 15 to 20 ounces, give or take. There, it's, once again, that's the minimum. What's your maximum? The sky's the limit. If you can easily achieve that, then hey ho, just go for more. Once again, these are just my numbers. Now, as some and a lot of people do, if you was just stacking silver and you wanted to convert at some time, as I've done videos on, you know, changing from the gold to silver ratio, I would say 2,000 ounces. Now, of course, the numbers will sound a lot higher, but the price is a lot cheaper. Once again, 2,000 ounces, I believe, come correction time, with 2,000 ounces of silver, you'll be more than good. If you can achieve more than this, once again, then you're already on good setting. Anything's achievable if you put your mind to it, and I'll leave that at that. So that's my numbers. You know, there's always been a percentage, but everybody's different. Everybody has certain things tied up. You may have funds available, or you know, just funds taking everything into account of what you have. But it'll be good to hear what others' numbers are on this, because you know, it's something that's out there. A little man getting into this could think, oh, you know, he'll never be able to catch up to the next man. It's not about what I have, it's about what you have and what you can get. I always get comments when I show a load of gold from funny individuals, but I've always looked at it like this: if you're stacking or you're watching this video, you're ahead of, give or take, what we now, like 8 billion population. You're damn near ahead of, you know, 7.999 billion people. So just work on yourself and you'll be great enough. Of course, we're not going to get ahead of the 1%, but to be ahead of all of the others and have that head start is fantastic. You know, it's 1 ounce at a time. You know, you don't need to do it in whole bits or big 100 kg or kilo silver bars. Everybody stacks at their own pace, but if you can achieve the numbers I feel are sufficient for a bare minimum, then I personally, once we see a price correction, can't see you going wrong from there. But once again, these are just my own personal numbers, nothing definitive or set in stone. It'll be fantastic to hear what type of numbers you guys think is more than enough, or you know, gold or silver. So hey or love it, guys. Please leave some comments on what you believe is the right number or the perfect number. Don't forget to come and follow me on the links that I've left in the description. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll catch you guys in the rebound.